정말 찍는 동안 그러니까 열심히 찍었는데 잘 되면은 정말 그거를 금상첨화라고 하죠. 그런데 열심히 찍었는데 안 됐어. 이게 되게 어렵겠다. 그건 뭐 그냥 본전이에요. 근데 또 되게 힘들게 찍었는데 잘 됐어. 그것도 본전이거든요.
그럼 장영사 어떻게요? 사장님 지난번
몰라.
싸우는 거 할 때 진짜 맞았죠. 사진 하나 같이 찍어도 되냐?
So he first of all, he asked on the very last scene, did he really got beaten by the counter actor? And the second question was, can I take a selfie?
하나, 둘, 셋.
뭐 많은 배우들이 있는데요. 그 독수리 오영재라고 우리 5명이 정말 팀워크를 이루었고, 그리고 지금까지도 오늘까지도 이 단톡방, 이 카톡 단톡방에 계속 연락을 하고 있어요. 그래서 지금 여기 와 있고 또 응원하고 또 뭐 지금 다른 배우들 지금 다른 촬영하고 있는데 서로 커피차도 보내주고 응원하고 있고, 아무튼 인생에 있어서 큰 선물 같은 그런 배우들입니다.
So he said they're just like a team like Power Rangers. It is a Power Rangers in English. Sorry guys. Power Rangers. They try to stay together as a great team. So even though they're actually filming different stuff right now, they will try to encourage and cheers each other. So they will actually send out what we call coffee trucks to actually help us to support the staffs and something like that. And then you still have this group WhatsApp, group chat actually going on to actually cheer each other, and then everyone knows that he's here for this and that's why.
So it's 4 years later, and that group chat is still alive.
It's still
That's
alive,
wonderful
yes.
to hear. So I love the Power Rangers reference because there's, as I mentioned, the En Bach reference. There's a ton of other references to other sort of great films of the past 30 years of Asian cinema and Asian pop culture that's going on. I'm wondering, was there improvisation that happened on set that was coming from the actors, not from the script or from the director?
릴렉스.
I was just wondering, you get this real sense of collaboration, obviously in the story from all of the actors, and it sounds like there was a wonderful sense of camaraderie and collaboration between the actors. And I'm wondering if the actors were contributing to the story. Was there ad-libbing, improvisation?
네, 일단은 대본이 굉장히 좋았고 훌륭했고, 애들이 뭐 소소하게 굉장히 많이 했죠. 애들이 뭐 아까 영화 보셨지만은 뭐 예를 들면 이렇게 이렇게 신하균 씨한테 총을 쏘려고 하는데 이렇게 하잖아요. 뭐 이런 것도 애들이 그리고 원래는 뭐 이렇게 하트도 있었고 뭐 여러 가지 있고. 아무튼 와이프가 이제 뭐 샤워하려고 했을 때 왜 씻어? 이것도 한 10개의 버전이 있었어요. 그래서 그 중에 하나 이제 픽업한 거고, 아무튼 굉장히 여러 가지 버전들이 있었는데 그 중에서 이제 가장 재밌는 것들을 이렇게 골라. 근데 일단은 대본이 거의 완벽했어요.
So first of all, he said the script was near perfect. It was a great script, but time to time there was a lot of ad-libs actually going on. So for example, he was saying, when he was pointing guns and going back and forth, was one of them wife when she was taking a shower, and he's asking like why. He had like 10 different type of versions, and then out of that they just picked the best version that they think fits the movie. So there was a lot of
Can we hear some of the other versions?
예를 들면 이제 와이프가 씻으러 갔을 때 뭐 좋아 뭐 이러면서 기다려 그리고 저도 버프더라고요. 뭐 이런 것도 있어. 뭐 여러 가지가 있었어요.
For example, when the wife was taking a shower, instead of saying why, he was like beast-like and tearing up his shirt and then walking into the shower with her. It was version like that.
기다렸어. 이러면서.
I was waiting for it, and then he walked in. It was very surprising.
I think I got this part with that. But I also saw in his previous answer him doing the whole, I'm not going to do it on stage, but the whole hand with the finger gesture thing. And I, for those of us who don't understand Korean, can you please explain that as well? It looked like that was something that happened amongst the actors. No. On it's a scene on the boat, right? When he pretends to shoot, but he is actually like just flipping the bird.
그러니까 뻑큐죠. 사실 잭나이프 있잖아요. 잭나이프를 딱 열었다가 딱 꼈다 이거를 이제 원래는 장난치던 건데 이렇게 그렇게도 했었고 이제 재밌는 버전 중에 하나는 그냥 이렇게 하트를 딱 했었고 이제 감독님이 엄청 고민하더라고요. 이렇게 총 쏘는 줄 알았는데 이렇게 하트하고 있고 근데 요걸로 표현을
So the finger flicking thing was brought by the jackknife that going back, coming out and coming back. But there was a version that, instead of that, instead of shooting a gun, pulling out like a hard. So in between those two, the director actually would really, couldn't really pick and end up with other versions.
And I forgot to say that my two boys who wanted to see this movie so badly are over there, and I know I'm going to be seeing that for the next 2 weeks. So one last question from me, going back again to this question about working together in an ensemble cast. In this film, like you play the leader, Squad Chief Ko, but of course, and one of the things that I love about the fact that, with all your success in your long career, I know that you're still, that you were a graduate of the Seoul Institute of Arts, and that you still find time to teach at the Seoul Art College. And early on in this film, there's a scene where I think when he's with the superintendent, he says something about life lessons. And I'm wondering, like, what are sort of the life lessons that you've learned over these years of acting, and what are some of the sort of life lessons that you like to share with these other actors, these friends of yours who are earlier in their careers than you are?
그 학생들을 가르치던 것들은 한 10년 전이고요. 이제 가르치다가 제가 부족한 부분들을 많이 발견했고, 그래서 좀 더 배우고 더 노력해야겠다라는 생각으로 10년 전에 그만두고 그 뒤로는 계속 연기에만 전념하고 있습니다.
He said it's been a decade since he actually taught the students. Like about 10 years ago, he thought he needs to practice more and then needs to focus on his acting instead of teaching. So it's been about 10 years since teaching.
Are there any life lessons you'd like to tell your fans here?
팬들? 갑자기 팬들한테 좋아. 제가 좀 힘들 때 굉장히 어둡고 축축한 곳을 지나갔는데 그때가 제 와이프가, 저도 이제 신앙이 있으니까 이게 동굴이 아니고 분명히 터널이다. 조금만 지나가면 분명히 빛이 있을 것이다 라고 얘기를 해주었고, 어둡고 힘들었지만은 그 길을 계속 갔을 때 그게 끝이 없는 동굴이 아니라 빛이 있더라고요. 그래서 인생에 있어서 좀 어둡고 보이지 않지만 자신을 믿고 계속 나간다면 분명히 밝은 터널을 발견할 수 있을 것 같습니다.
So he said when he was going through hardship, he was going through really dark and wet, sticky places. He thought it was a cave, but since he has faith, his wife especially told him that instead of a cave, it's a tunnel that actually has a light at the end. So he says, even though it seems like and it feels like it's an endless cave, but there will still be lights at the end. So believe yourself and believe that it's a tunnel, and then you'll get to the end.
And there's probably fried chicken too. Okay, well, I know that many of you probably have questions for Mr. Ryu. I think, do we have mics, or do we just?
We do. We have a couple of folks with mics, one here and one there. So if you have questions for Mr. Ryu, you can raise your hand. And this one right here, in the front row.
Hello. 안녕하세요. 질문해도 되는가요? 혹시 보통 약간 이런 영화를 찍을 때 어떤 직업을 배워야 되잖아요. 이 영화에서 형수를 하고 보통 그 영화를 찍을 때 그 직업에 대해서 얼마나 많이 알아야 되나요? 아니 그냥 제목만 따르면은 그냥 대충 그 직업을 아는 것처럼 보이나요? 아니면 이 영화 찍을 때 형사에 대해서 엄청 공부를 해야 되는 건가요?
So the question was, he thinks, to actually act, you need to learn about the job, you need to learn about the position. So, for example, for this case, there was he acted as a detective. How much study you have to do? Can you actually pretend being a detective? How much in-depth studies you have to go through?
네, 특징들을 전부 다 하기에는 비효율적이고 얼마나 잘 하느냐이기보다는 어떻게 하는 거 이렇게 잘 보이느냐가 배우는 중요하기 때문에 효과적으로 그 포인트들을 짧은 시간 동안 배워야 되기 때문에 그런 것들을 이제 집중해서 그 포인트들을 연습하고 또 잘 관찰하고 그렇게 합니다.
So instead of if you trying to learn all the characteristics, it's really inefficient. So instead of going through that, you're trying to focus on, how to be really effective. So instead of understanding and performing as truly being itself, as an actor, it's more important for you to act and show that you actually understand and fully know how it's done. So he tried to be really effective on focused on certain characteristics that he wants to emphasize.
More questions?
So are you a good fighter? 잘 싸워요? 어떻게 배웠어요?
네. 고등학교 때 좀 싸우고 그 뒤로는 안 싸워서 잘 모르겠는데 영화에서는 잘 싸웁니다.
So he said he fought a little bit during high school, but since then he haven't fought, so he doesn't really know. But at least on the films and on the screen, he does well.
That's great acting.
This young lady here, and then this young man over here who has his hand up.
Yeah.
Hi. 안녕하세요. 감사합니다 for being here. I'm a big fan of K-dramas, and I saw you for the first time on Miracle So 8. And I'm a big fan of you. And congratulations for your work on Moving. You did a great job there. Now that I watched this movie, I know why they picked you. Because this is like a continuation from this character to the one in the movie. So you did great. And besides, my question is, which is the movie or the K-drama that you love the most and that you keep forever? Thank you. 감사합니다.
먼저 너무 감사합니다. 너무 감사하고 무빙이 12월 13일부터 서브타이틀 그 자막 그 더빙으로 지금 디즈니에서 다 준비를 했고요. 디즈니에서 최초로 이렇게 더빙으로 하는 거라고 하더라고요. 반응이 좋아가지고 많은 분들이 이렇게 관심 가져서 정말 감사하고 가장 애정을 가지고. 진짜 정말로 흥행하고 상관없이 진짜 10손가락 깨물어서 안 아픈 손가락이 없잖아요. 아주 안 된 작품부터 최근에 찍었던 작품들 진짜 모두 다 똑같이 거의 비슷한 비슷한 정도로 다 아끼고 사랑합니다.
So first of all, the December 13th, the first time ever they're doing a dub version of the movie instead of the subtitle version. So it is first time in the Disney history that doing a dub version for it instead of going through a subtitle. So please watch it again. Secondly, he said, as you know, if you bite your fingers, every finger hurts the exact same. So regardless of from the least famous movie to the most famous movie, every movies and films and dramas that he's done, he equally loves everything.
그렇게 찍었어. 그렇게 찍었어.
Yeah, that's how we filmed it.
Any more questions from the audience? Yes, in the center here. Let's see, who has a mic? Oh, you have one back there. Sorry. Okay, there's somebody with a mic.
안녕하세요. 이번에 두 번째로 류승룡 배우님 작품 보는 건데 킹덤에서 먼저 배웠고 이번에 지금 완전 상반된 연기 너무 재밌게 잘 봤습니다. 먼저 감사드리고요. 제가 여기 오기 전에 이제 이 극한직업이라는 영화에 듣기는 많이 들었는데 잘 몰라서 좀 이렇게 리서치를 좀 해봤더니 사실인지 아닌지 모르겠지만 찍는 중간에 배우들이랑 감독님들마저도 이거 진짜 재밌으려나 좀 이렇게 퀘셔닝한 순간이 좀 많았다고 해요. 근데 그 사실인지 아닌지 모르겠지만 류승룡 배우님이 찍으시는 동안 이게 되게 잘 되겠다 이렇게 정말 이렇게까지 잘 되고 대박을 치겠다는 느낌이 좀 있으셨는지 아니면은 찍으시면서 이거는 좀 재밌을까 하는 그런 self-doubt, 퀘셔닝 하는 그런 순간들이 있었는지 좀 어떤 찍는 과정에 어떤 신경이 어떠셨는지 좀 궁금합니다.
So she asked, this is first of all, it was the first ever film or media that she ever saw him was at the Kingdom, and then compared to this one, it was totally opposite stuff, and that this is her second time actually going through it. So the question was, she did a little bit of background search about the Extreme Job since she didn't really know much about this film. But throughout her research, she found out that when they were filming this movie, there was a little bit of, the directors and the actors and actresses, everyone was like, oh, is it really going to be famous? Is this movie is really going to be, loved by the audience or not? So her question was asking him that if you had a self-doubt about while you're filming it, how were you thinking, what were you thinking during the process?
네, 일단 킹덤하고 극한직업하고 거의 같은 시기에 그 개봉이 또 오픈이 돼가지고 그런 감사한 말씀 많이 들었어요. 감사하고 그동안 보면 재밌겠다, 잘 되겠다라고 했던 영화 중에 안 된 영화도 있고 이건 좀 될까 했는데 너무 잘 된 영화도 있고 그래서 그거를 이렇게 예상을 못 하겠더라고요, 정말로. 근데 한 가지 깨달은 거는 정말 찍는 동안 그러니까 열심히 찍었는데 잘 되면은 정말 그거를 금상첨화라고 하죠. 그런데 열심히 찍었는데 안 됐어. 이게 되게 어렵겠다. 그건 그냥 본전이에요. 근데 또 되게 힘들게 찍었는데 잘 됐어. 그것도 본전이거든요. 되게 힘들게 찍었는데 안 됐어. 그러면 그거를 설상가상이라고 하죠. 그래서 여러 영화를 통해서 정말 우리가 할 수 있는 50%는 우리가 하자. 그래서 굉장히 행복하게 즐겁게 그렇게 찍었던 게 사실 극한직업이고 그렇게 행복하게 찍었는데 또 너무 잘 됐어요. 그래서 진짜 그 배가가 됐죠. 그래서 앞으로는 정말 우리가 만들 수 있는 최소한의 과정 속에서 즐겁고 행복하게 찍자. 이렇게 앞으로 작품들도 그렇게 임하려고 노력하고 있습니다. 미안해요. sorry.
I'll cut the front one. The reason I'm saying that, so he said, mainly there is a lot of different scenarios, but when
In the back?
Hi, yeah, so the mic is not really working very well. I hope you can hear me from the front. Yeah, so my question would be, I've also watched actually several of your productions, and it's been a wonderful experience to see you play many roles in many genres. My question would be really, as a more seasoned professional in your field, how much choice do you get over the roles that you get to play, and what specifically, if you do get, I guess, more say over the roles that you want to play, what are the things in a script that jumps out at you that maybe touches you in a different way that makes you want to play that role?
첫 번째 질문은 이게 그때에 따라서 좀 다른 것 같아요. 처음 영화를 시작할 때는 이제 좋은 시나리오를 받기 위해서, 선택받기 위해서 여러 작품들을 했었고, 그러기 위해서는 이제 악역들, 좀 센 캐릭터들 이런 것들을 주로 했고, 그리고 그 다음 단계에는 좀 잘 되고 흥행하고 재미있는 이런 작품들을 하게 되었고, 요즘에는 좀 영화를 보고 좀 생각할 수 있는 그런 어떤 그 사명감 같은 게 생기기 시작했어요. 그래서 가족, 인생, 죽음 이런 것들, 이런 영화들, 그리고 또 코로나 팬데믹을 지나면서 이제 마음들이 되게 우울해져 있을 때 어떤 웃음을 주고 싶었고, 그게 이제 첫 번째 질문에 대한 대답인데 먼저 하시는 게 나을 것 같아요.
For the answer for the first question, so when he started, he tried his best to get like really good films and script. So that's how he actually got into more like gangster likes, really strong characters. And the next step, he tried to get like more, a script or a film that is really, it could be really famous. And now he wants to more, he has a mission that he wants to focus on, making people more think about like life, your family, death, this stuff. So right now he's, throughout the process, he's trying to focus on, films or drama that can make you think more about life's situations.
네, 두 번째 질문은 그냥 한 줄 로그라인 관객분들, 시청자분들이 보시고 나서 한 줄, 재밌다, 가족이 생각난다, 뭐 그런 식으로 어떤 메시지 하나가 명확했으면 좋겠다. 그래서 제가 시나리오를 읽었을 때 너무 재밌게 막 미친 듯이 극한직업이 그랬거든요. 막 하면서 저도 모르게 연기를 하고 있더라고요. 너무 그 시나리오에 빠져서. 또 무빙 같은 경우는 하면서 막 울기도 하고 가족들도 생각나고 그래서 그 한 줄이 굉장히 로그라인이 되게 중요한 것 같아요.
So when he actually reads scripts, he wants to get this like one sentence expression from the audience saying like, it was great, it was really fun, or it makes me think about families. So when he actually picks, he tried to focus on that one line. For example, for the Extreme Job, the movie we just saw, while he was reading the script, it naturally made himself actually acting because it was so much fun. It was a great script. And a comparison to that, like moving the one in the Disney Plus Hulu over here, it made him think about the families and stuff like that. So he always tried to focus on that, one sentence from the audience, like, what will they think about?
It's time to conclude, I'm sorry to say, but I want to thank all of you for being here. I want to again thank the Consulate, the Consul General, Pat, Karen, Nate, and of course, Mr. Williams. Thank you very much for joining us for such a memorable night of Extreme Job.
첫 번째 질문은 이게 그때에 따라서 좀 다른 것 같아요. 처음 영화를 시작할 때는 이제 좋은 시나리오를 받기 위해서, 선택받기 위해서 여러 작품들을 했었고, 그러기 위해서는 이제 뭐 악역들, 좀 센 캐릭터들 이런 것들을 주로 했고, 그리고 그 다음 단계에는 좀 잘 되고 흥행하고 재미있는 이런 작품들을 하게 되었고, 요즘에는 좀 영화를 보고 좀 생각할 수 있는 그런 어떤 그 사명감 같은 게 생기기 시작했어요. 그래서 가족, 인생, 죽음 이런 것들, 이런 영화들, 그리고 또 코로나 팬데믹을 지나면서 이제 마음들이 되게 우울해져 있을 때 어떤 웃음을 주고 싶었고, 그게 이제 첫 번째 질문에 대한 대답인데 먼저 하시는 게 나을 것 같아요.
For the answer for the first question, so when he started, he tried his best to get like really good films and script. So that's how he actually got into more like gangster likes, really strong characters. And the next step, he tried to get like more, a script or a film that is really, it could be really famous. And now he wants to more, he has a mission that he wants to focus on, making people more think about like life, your family, death, this stuff. So right now he's, throughout the process, he's trying to focus on, films or drama that can make you think more about life's situations.
네, 두 번째 질문은 그냥 한 줄 로그라인. 그 관객분들, 시청자분들이 보시고 나서 한 줄, 재밌다. 가족이 생각난다. 뭐 그런 식으로 어떤 메시지 하나가 명확했으면 좋겠다. 그래서 제가 시나리오를 읽었을 때 너무 재밌게 뭐 막 미친 듯이 극한직업이 그랬거든요. 막 하면서 저도 모르게 연기를 하고 있더라고요. 너무 그 시나리오에 빠져서 또 무빙 같은 경우는 하면서 막 울기도 하고 가족들도 생각나고 그래서 그 한 줄이 굉장히 로그라인이 되게 중요한 것 같아요.
So when he actually reads scripts, he wants to get this like one sentence expression from the audience and saying like, it was great, it was really fun, or you know, it makes me think about families. So when he actually picks, he tried to focus on that one line. For example, for the Extreme Job, the movie we just saw, while he was reading the script, it naturally made himself actually acting because it was so much fun. It was a great script. And a comparison to that, like moving the one in the Disney Plus Hulu over here, it made him think about the families and stuff like that. So he always tried to focus on that one sentence from the audience, like what will they think about.
It's time to conclude, I'm sorry to say, but I want to thank all of you for being here. I want to again thank the Consulate, the Consul General, staff, Karen, Nate, and of course, Mr. Williams. Thank you very much for joining us for such a memorable night of Extreme Job.
Next, please. Yes. 예. 자, 찍을게요. 잠시만요. 네. 하나, 둘, 셋. 하나, 둘, 셋. 오케이. Next, please.